Ola Vista Church, where we started, and we went there on our first Sunday, and we had Ivan Veldhuizen with us for the first time, who's our new Director of International Ministries in Converge. That's a family of churches we're part of. And Pastor Seam, who's pastor at Ola Vista Church there, and as the people gathered for worship, Hillary and I were able to give a greeting and welcome everybody, and then we got to hear their gospel choir, their younger choir, and then Ivan got up to preach. And then that night we started with a dinner, and we had groups come in from all over the different countries. Here's our newest missionary, Crick Poirier, and he and Mindy are in Tartu, Estonia now. We're thrilled about that. We had people there from Finland. We had a group there from Norway. We had 3 groups, actually, from Sweden who were part of the time together. And then Monday morning, we started with our church planting summit. Jenny, who's going to be with us on Father's Day, the Swedes will be here. And we still need housing for 3 men. If you can help, let me know. I've got 3 beautiful Swedish young men who need a place to stay. Got to... oh, sure, now you're in. Got to help lead those meetings, and we started the whiteboard. What are some concerns you want to talk about? And we ended up with a whole list of great topics of how we could work together better to plant churches in that area. Brought in Tom Niebel, who's head of church planting for Converge. You may not know, but the family of churches we're part of has been called by Ed Stetzer and others the most effective church planting group in America today. Our churches with 90% success rate at 5 years are independent, starting other churches and self-supporting. Todd Moulter is at one of those churches that we started a few years ago. And so we were telling them the systems we've learned and how we do that. A group of 45 people from all different countries, including Latvia and others, and great times to pray together. Then when that ended, we took off for Viljandi to see the results of our Christmas project, which was to help this church get power. And I was thrilled when we pulled up on the lot. Here's one of the first things I saw was they put in the power lines to that church for our Light for Estonia campaign. Got to be with, don't clap, I don't have time, Pastor Amo Remmel. And this is the heating system that we helped them put in a few years ago, too. So they now have heat and they have power. They're meeting in the basement of the church now. And hoping eventually to get all the fixtures and everything in the heat so they can meet upstairs in the big room. Left there, drove a few hours to the Nutsaku camp, which is their retreat center, and saw some of the new cabins and things we've helped to do there as a congregation. And then we went on and through God's blessing, we were able to honor the seminary faculty, give them an award for 90 years of Bible teaching, even through the Soviet era, to be faithful to God through those years. And we got the first Bible of the 120 that we're going to give away this summer. And a lot of the pastors don't have a decent Bible. And so they're going to get a Bible that they can preach and teach from. And so we're glad that that's available now, and that'll be given out to them in July. We also then headed off to Sweden, where the cherry blossoms were just starting. It was New Life Church in Stockholm in their new building where we were on Sunday morning with Pastor John Van Dinter, who will be here on Father's Day with his team from Stockholm. Everything there is in English and in Swedish side by side. And the chairperson of the church was my interpreter as I got to preach to them that morning. Services at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Here's a little bit what it was like and a song that I want us to learn. So we're going to practice that in just a minute and try to learn that. Next day, we headed off to Örebro, about 2.5 hours from Stockholm. And this is the headquarters of the Evangelical Free Church of Sweden, which is actually the only Baptist group left in Sweden right now. And we went to the Örebro Castle to visit the governor of that part, Rosemary Freeman, because Rosemary went to the same seminary I did. She graduated from Bethel Seminary in about 1979. And now she's the head of the town football team. And she didn't like the way the guys were playing, so she took over the team and is trying to get a decent soccer team going there. So great lady. We had a wonderful time with her. And then we went to visit the headquarters of the Evangelical Free Church and got to talk to their staff during their fika time, their coffee break. And then we got to meet for the morning with the leadership team from them to talk about strategic partnerships and how we can help and work with them. And here's our friend Shalaxel Johansson, who was here a few months ago. Then we flew up to Tampere, Finland, which is the second largest city in Finland. It was cold. The lakes are still frozen up there. And we had a great time meeting beautiful Russian Orthodox church. We went to the headquarters church and signed a ministry covenant between us and the churches of Finland. Got to hear their choirs sing, and then we signed the ministry covenant together between our two countries.